The long-awaited moment has arrived. Pope Leo XIII has signed his first appointments to the Roman curia, and the news has already shocked many, both inside and outside the Vatican walls. Stay with me, because from these names, the imprint that Leo is giving to his pontificate begins to emerge, an imprint destined to weigh on the Church for decades to come. The first concrete decisions of Pope Leo XIV regarding the Roman curia have arrived, and as often happens in these cases, they have not left anyone indifferent. Yesterday afternoon, a surprise official statement announced the new appointments to the dicastery for the clergy. The announcement, which came just before the weekend, has sparked mixed reactions. On the one hand, some see signs of continuity with the previous approach, while on the other, some see a further consolidation of the synodal approach desired by his predecessor. The list includes names already known to the Catholic public, and there is no shortage of figures whose positions have generated heated debate in the past. The reaction was immediate. Commentators closest to tradition spoke bluntly of a worrying picture, noting that at least 5 out of 7 names belong to the progressive wing of the Church. Many have pointed out that the decision to announce these decisions on Friday afternoon is no coincidence. It is a well-known practice in political and media circles to bury inconvenient news at a time when public attention is limited. Whether it was a strategy or a coincidence, the result is that the new pontiff's first moves have already sparked a heated debate, placing the pontificate of Leo XIV under the scrutiny of observers and faithful. Among the names disclosed, the one that has aroused the most curiosity and, in some circles, even a certain relief, is that of Monsignor Erik Varden, Bishop of Trondheim in Norway. His figure stands out in a panorama dominated by cardinals, already known for their progressive positions or at least aligned with the current synodal line. Having converted to Catholicism after a long intellectual and monastic journey, Varden spent years as a Trappist monk before being called by Rome to lead a small but combative diocese in the heart of a now de-Christianized Europe. This background makes him an anomalous figure in contemporary ecclesial geography. He is not a curia professional. He is not a man of the apparatus, but rather a pastor with deep roots in traditional spirituality. Precisely for this reason, Varden is now perceived as the positive face of an otherwise discouraging package of appointments. Among the numerous appointments, some have attracted particular attention because they are considered not only weighty, but also potentially divisive. These are not secondary names. They are figures positioned at key points within the curia, with the concrete possibility of shaping decisions and policies for the years to come. It is precisely here that the most controversial profiles emerge. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, former pro-prefect of the dicastery for evangelization, officially joins the dicastery for the clergy. His fame precedes him. Loved by some for his direct and popular communication style, criticized by others for his manners, deemed too spectacular and not very sober. He's remembered, for example, for his singing performances and moments of light-heartedness that have made international headlines. More controversial, however, has been his handling of previous assignments in Rome, with less than stellar results. Yet, Leo XIV places him in a position from which he can influence the formation and governance of priests, a crucial area for the future of the Church. Cardinal Arthur Roche, prefect of the dicastery for divine worship and the discipline of the sacraments, not only maintains his role, but is also included as a member of the dicastery for the clergy. It's a dual presence that accentuates his influence. Already a key figure in the implementation of the motu proprio Traditionis Custodes, Roche is known for his rigorous interpretation of Roman liturgical directives. The decision to confirm and strengthen him, despite his 75th birthday, which normally marks the date of retirement, appears to be a clear intention to ensure continuity to a path that does not intend to retreat. Cardinal Mario Grech, Secretary General of the Synod Secretariat, has also been appointed a member of the dicastery for the clergy. A Maltese with solid diplomatic and theological experience, he is one of the architects of the synodal season and among the promoters of the so-called new ecclesiology. His position within this dicastery has a precise meaning, not only to coordinate the work of the synod, but also to influence the formation and life of the clergy, intertwining two fronts that will define the face of the Church in the coming decades. Finally, Cardinal Jean-Marc Aveline, Archbishop of Marseille, a figure esteemed for his intelligence and commitment to interreligious dialogue. His appointment to the dicastery for the clergy confirms the focus on an episcopate that prioritizes the pastoral and social dimensions with particular sensitivity to migratory phenomena and multicultural coexistence. He is an international figure, often indicated as a possible candidate, and his presence reinforces the idea of a college of names that are not random, but chosen to give a precise imprint to the pontificate. Together, these appointments not only represent a change in the organizational chart, but also outline a political and ecclesial direction. Each cardinal brings with him a baggage of choices, positions taken, and controversies that now enter directly into the control room of one of the most sensitive dicasteries of the curia. The picture that emerges from these appointments leaves the impression of a pontificate that from the very first steps chose a clear direction. Leo XIV does not seem intent on marking a discontinuity, but rather on consolidating a path already mapped out, relying on trusted men capable of embodying a model of a church that is strongly synodal, international, and focused on cultural and social dialogue. At the same time, the presence of important figures in strategic ministries signals that these are not just cosmetic choices. The dicastery for the clergy, thus renewed, becomes the laboratory where the formation of tomorrow's priests will be decided, and consequently, the very face of Catholic communities in the coming decades. The appointments were not distributed randomly, but affected sensitive sectors: liturgy, synodality, clergy. The impression is that of a curia rallying around a specific project, with the risk that critical or simply more cautious voices will be marginalized. For the faithful, the message is unmistakable. The new pope does not improvise, he does not grant respite, he does not open the door to intermediate solutions. He has chosen men who embody a precise direction and placed them in the most delicate positions of the curial machinery. Thus begins a pontificate that promises no neutrality, but presents itself with the strength of a clearly defined vision. Time will tell whether this vision will be capable of holding the universal church together, or whether it will end up exacerbating internal tensions. But already today it appears clear that Leo XIV has thrown down the gauntlet, and that his pontificate will be remembered as a season of clear choices and redrawn balances. What do you think? If you liked the video, comment, Amen. God bless you.